This is such an exciting time. We're just a day or two away from our regional in Washington, D.C. for the Americas. This is going to be kind of the kickoff of our launch season, where we're going to be officially launching four new amazing products. These products, we are so anxious that everyone can understand the innovative quality of these products, the messaging, the total uniqueness of these products, and also the potential that these have of turning your business into overdrive. And so that's what we want to talk about today. Last week we talked about PhytoPower W. This week we're going to talk about PhytoPower C. And so I'm going to share my screen with you all. I'm excited about PhytoPower C. I'm excited about the new PhytoPower products. In my mind, I've called it PhytoPower 2.0, simply because we have taken the brand PhytoPower and expanded it into a completely new, innovative realm. We started with PhytoPower W. Today, we want to talk about PhytoPower C. The message that I want to make sure that everyone understands, passion within me to communicate to you that we are introducing products into the market that do not exist. And so any comparisons become very problematic because when we start comparing PhytoPower W, for instance, with any other weight loss product, it's just not a good comparison because there just isn't another product that compares because of the way that we have approached the entire science and concept of microbiome health. We have embraced the idea that the microbiome is the center of health. And I encourage every one of you to ponder again those three words: the center of health, or the center of human health. It is an absolute phrase, absolute statement. The microbiome science has taught us and continues to teach us and validates and verifies that the human body thrives when our microbiome is balanced, diverse, and healthy, when the proper chemical reactions are taking place. And when those things are not in place, our body has challenges. Our body does not thrive. And so how does this apply specifically? Well, for instance, probably three-fourths of the world at one time or another is involved in a weight loss program. But approaching weight management without a healthy, diverse, well-functioning microbiome machine is an absolute waste of time. Everybody is puzzled for years and years. Why don't diets work? The microbiologists, the scientists, the researchers have answered this question for us. They don't work because we ignore the center of health. We ignore the place where the key chemical reactions must take place in order for the fuel that powers the cells that burn fat, that increase metabolism, that regulate appetite, and so on and so forth. We ignore that factory or that mechanism where that all of those important chemical reactions take place. And in fact, or in place, we use willpower or trying to trick our body or whatever it is. And ultimately it fails, and ultimately we get discouraged, and ultimately we spend so much money on products that don't work. So the thesis are PhytoPower 2.0 products that we are introducing at these regionals that we went through with you a couple of weeks ago, and now more in detail one by one, is that there is a key mechanism in the microbiome that when it is operating properly, amazing and magical things happen. Not necessarily magical in the kind of a cryptic way, but magical in a physiological way, that we actually get the benefits, we feel them, and we get the results. And so today I want to talk to you about, you guys, the most important connection in the human body. And I want you, once again, you've seen this image, I'm sure, maybe dozens of times. But this image right here is a representation of the most important connection in the human body. And when you understand the connection between the gut and the brain, your imagination begins to take flight. You begin to realize that mental health issues, anxiety, sleep, circadian rhythm, appetite regulation, the way we feel, the way we relate to the world, our happiness level, our satisfaction with life are all originated in our gut microbiome. And the connection between our gut and our brain regulate literally how we function in society, how we function in our families, how we function on our jobs. This connection is critical for stress management, restful sleep, general mental health. Can you imagine a more important connection, you guys? Can you imagine anything more important to understand than the connection between our gut microbiome and our brain? They are not two separate units, two separate organs that operate independently. We don't take pills to manage our brain and ignore our microbiome. That is a completely ridiculous approach to mental health. From a business perspective, from an opportunity perspective, this is one area that personally, I believe that if we can become the experts and the ones that stand on the street corner and bring this message to the masses, oh my goodness, the rewards, the personal rewards for the benefit that we can do for people, the business rewards that we can have for ourselves, and influencing the consumer habits of people we know and people throughout the world are unimaginable. The gut brain connection. Let's do a deep dive into this today in the few minutes that we have. PhytoPower C supports the gut-brain connection. That is the message that we need to bring to you today. PhytoPower C was specifically designed not as a sleeping pill or a sleeping treatment. PhytoPower C was designed to support the gut-brain connection, because when that is operating well, we operate well on a mental, physical, overall physiological high level. These two vital organs are connected physically and biochemically in a number of ways. Neurons are cells in your brain and central nervous system that tell the body how to behave. There are approximately 100 billion neurons in the human brain. Well, that doesn't surprise us. That seems logical. But here's what you need to know. Interestingly, your gut microbiome contains 500 million neurons, which connect to your brain through nerves that connect the brain and the gut. That there is a highway, a communication highway between your gut and your brain that actually transmits these neurons and the messages that are contained in these neurons from the brain to the gut. The brain contains 100 billion, but the gut also, because it is our second brain, contains 500 unique neurons originating in our gut microbiome. Now, just pause for just a minute with me. How many of you knew this before our discussion this morning? Now, how many of your friends know this? How many of your friends know that the reason that they're having a hard time sleeping at night is because that there is an imbalance in their gut, that there is a bad connection between their gut microbiome and their brain, that there is something that is interrupting the transmission of messages carried by these neurons the neurons that originate in our gut and the neurons that originate in our brain that need to interconnect and communicate with each other. How many people really consider that? Most will take a over-the-counter sleep medication or some other form of sleep aid, and hope that that will help them get a good night's sleep or fall asleep. And guess what? They'll have the same problem tomorrow night, and the same tomorrow night, and the same tomorrow night. This is the cycle of of poor treatment. This is a cycle of ignorance, actually, of really what is making it all work and how the human body is connected. The vagus nerve is one of the biggest nerves connecting your brain and your gut. It is like a super highway. It sends signals both ways. It sends signals from the brain to the gut and vice versa. It connects these two brains. They must be connected. They must communicate. And when they do communicate well, we function properly at a high level. We have our memory is affected, our mood is affected, our productivity is affected, our relationships, our ability to get restful sleep and wake up in the morning refreshed. All of these are affected when this superhighway is functioning properly. Now, stress is common in today's world. We all experience it probably every day. Stress inhibits these signals, causing anxiety and gastrointestinal problems. Select strains of friendly bacteria can reduce the amount of stress hormone in the blood through this neuron connection. So, in other words, an approach to helping this superhighway function properly and for the connection to be uninhibited or unimpeded is to address the diversity, the mechanism of the gut microbiome. This is in truly embracing the idea of the center of health. Your gut and your brain are also connected through chemicals called neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters control feelings and emotions. And so there is a physical connection through neurons and a biochemical reaction through neurotransmitters. The body is a miracle, and the redundancy and the way that our Creator has created our bodies to be connected and to literally control every aspect of our body through these central brains, our brain in our head and our brain in our gut. It's amazing. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter, by the way, and it contributes to the feelings of happiness, contentment, and control of your body clock or your circadian rhythm. A large proportion of serotonin is produced in the gut microbiome. How many of your friends know and understand that? That a diverse microbiome, a well-functioning, balanced microbiome, is a huge benefit in the production of serotonin. And serotonin is a critical neurotransmitter in this gut-brain connection. Your microbiome also produces GABA, which is a neurotransmitter which helps control feelings of fear and anxiety. It just amazes me that the mechanism for us feeling good already exists. The mechanism for us improving our memory already exists. The mechanism for getting a good night's sleep, for being less moody, less anxious, less stressful, or dealing with stress that we encounter every day. The mechanism already exists in our body. All we need to do is pay attention to it, feed it, encourage it to function as a well-oiled machine. And that is really the purpose of our new PhytoPower products. We kind of call it PhytoPower 2.0 because we are taking the concept of PhytoPower that we originated a year and a half ago, and applying targeted probiotics with key complementary ingredients to bring about a specific benefit. Weight loss, for instance, a less anxiety, reduced anxiety and calm and a good night's sleep, for instance, energy and fat blocking, and all of these very specific benefits that are coming with these ingredients or with these products that we are introducing. Short chain fatty acids. You've heard this term, and we will talk about this again and again because we want you to feel comfortable with that phrase. And we want you to understand the vital nature of the production of short chain fatty acids in our bodies. They are produced in the gut, and they are critical in the gut-brain connection. Short chain fatty acids affect brain function in a number of positive ways, including appetite reduction, reduced anxiety, improved sleep, and body clock management. Remember, short chain fatty acids are postbiotics. They are the result of diverse biotic strains, bacterial strains, consuming the right nourishment that we put into our gut, the prebiotic nourishment. And when the engine consumes the right fuel, the result is magic. The result is exactly what we need it to be. And so these postbiotic short chain fatty acids and other metabolites are critical in this gut-brain connection. Butyrate is also an important short chain fatty acids and is vital for the forming and maintaining of the blood-brain barrier. Now, why is that important? For those of you who may not be too clear on what the blood-brain barrier is, think of it as a super filtering process that our bodies, our creator created this amazing way to filter toxins from reaching our brain. It is a very intricate and complex filtering system that goes through the blood vessels and capillaries that reach our brain, that ultimately filter out the toxins so they do not have the ability to get into the brain and affect our brain. This blood-brain barrier is critical to our health, our physical health, and our mental health. And this short-chain fatty acid called butyrate is like a sentinel in building and guarding this important blood-brain barrier. I don't know. I don't know if you're all vibrating right now, if you can't sit still. I don't know if your brain is going a million directions. Think about LiveBiome and the message that we're bringing to the world and the awareness that we are bringing to you and your friends, that there is a connection between their brain and their gut microbiome. And when that connection, that super highway is functioning at a high level, we can manage stress, we can manage anxiety, we can manage mood, we can manage fears, we can improve memory, we can sleep more restfully at night and wake up more refreshed. Everything, relationships, the way that we approach the world, the productivity we have in our own jobs and clubs and the way that we function physically in our activities that we love. All of these are affected by this amazing connection between our gut and our brain. So let's talk about PhytoPower C specifically. PhytoPower C delivers a unique blend of 3 diverse biotic strains of friendly bacteria, which specifically have been used because they support the gut-brain connection. Lactobacillus casei, Lactobacillus acidophilus, and Bifidobacteria breve. These have been specifically chosen and in the right combination so that they bring about the optimal result. They populate our gut with this new diverse blend of targeted probiotics. Glycine is one of those complementary ingredients. It is a key amino acid that has a calming effect on the brain. It helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. Lemon balm is also a complementary ingredient that we selected. It's prized for its ability to calm anxiety and promote a sound and restful sleep. And finally, magnesium is also well known for its ability to promote restful sleep. And so this formula, these ingredients, we spent weeks, months investigating, researching these ingredients and what proportion that they should be in, and how to bring them together in the right combination so that they work as a team. They work together as a perfectly designed formula. This is an amazing product that you seriously, I'm not overstating or trying to hype or use hyperbole. This is a product that can build an entire business. Name one person that you know that does not deal with stress, that at times or maybe all the time deals with the inability to sleep restfully or to just relate and deal in a proper way with their outside world and surroundings. PhytoPower C is the first product of its kind to be introduced specifically to address the superhighway connection between the gut and the brain. And so with that, I'm going to turn the time back to Adam to continue our discussion.
First of all, PhytoPower C prepares the body for deep rest. Okay, that's one benefit of PhytoPower C. And I just, you know me, I like to do my internet research here, and I'm just reading here on WebMD about the article is called "The Deep Clean of Deep Sleep," and I just want to read something about something to you. It says, "Good quality deep sleep strengthens your memories and your immune system." It's a cool connection there, memories and immune system. Research shows it may help clear out toxins from your brain. Now, even more importantly, a lack of sleep raises your chances of mental and physical health problems, including depression, heart disease, and diabetes. Sleep is so important, and it's the thing that we kick around and we abuse, and we don't take care of our sleep, but sleep is so important. And so anything that can help us get good, deep rest and sleep is a very, very good thing for our guts, for our minds, for our whole bodies. So PhytoPower C prepares the body for deep rest, something we desperately need. PhytoPower C helps the body maintain healthy response to stress. Now, Kelly did a great job of talking about the connections, the neurotransmitters, the nerves that connect our brain and our gut. We have natural responses to stress. And when our gut is out of balance, when our gut isn't healthy, then those natural responses to stress are all disrupted. And so the connection is really, really cool. And Kelly just did such a great job of going over this connection. But when we maintain health of our gut, we maintain a healthy response to stress, and PhytoPower C promotes that. Okay, now, PhytoPower C maintains proper function of gut-brain pathways. Okay, it keeps those neurotransmitters, those important nerves, those pathways clear and unobstructed and functioning properly. So that's an awesome thing from PhytoPower C. Okay, PhytoPower C helps the gut microbiome produce important neurotransmitters like GABA. You know, one thing bringing Next Detox into the mix, Next Detox actually has GABA as one of its ingredients, and it is one of the most noticeable and potent ingredients in Next Detox. And PhytoPower C does the same thing. PhytoPower C helps our bodies create GABA, and among other things, important neurotransmitters that help us relax and maintain peace and calm. PhytoPower C assists in the production of important short-chain fatty acids. This actually bleeds into last week's Weekly 20 discussion. We were talking about the important postbiotics called short-chain fatty acids, which help our body in so many different ways. And you heard Kelly talk about the importance of short chain fatty acids for our calm and our peace, and the way that our minds and our guts promote that. So short chain fatty acids, very, very important postbiotic for our calm and peace. Now, here's something that you will love. PhytoPower C helps support the blood-brain barrier, which is a protective layer that lines the inner surfaces of the blood vessels inside your brain. It's a key part of how your brain and nervous systems work. Now, check this out. I did some more research on the blood-brain barrier, and I want to read something to you. This is from the National Institute of Health, a U.S. government regulated website here. So it says, the blood-brain barrier shields the brain from toxic substances in the blood. It supplies brain tissues with nutrients and it filters harmful compounds from the brain back to the bloodstream. So they did this really, really cool experiment that researchers and scientists, they injected a dye into some patients, some test patients, and they saw that this dye, it was a blue dye. It actually went through the whole body, but it was protected from the brain. The blue dye didn't make it into the brain because of the blood-brain barrier, and that was a signal to them that there is this barrier protecting our brain from toxins and harmful substances from our body, and it also protects the rest of our body from things that our brain produces that aren't compatible with the rest of our body. So the blood-brain barrier is such a cool thing to research and understand, and PhytoPower C, that with its targeted probiotics and other impact ingredients, promotes the protection of the blood-brain barrier. So guys, there is so much to talk about with PhytoPower C, but you need to experience this product for yourselves. It is launch week. We are officially launching these products this week in Washington, D.C., and then later in Europe and in Asia. They're available for pre-order, and they'll be available at the event that you can physically take product home with you. Guys, these are must-haves. They're must-try products, and you need to share these with your friends, your family, your customers, people on the streets, strangers, people you don't know, anyone. Everyone needs to try these products. They're so miraculous. They're so amazing.